Cancer, Happy New Year. It's January 2026, but you still gotta grab that journal and that pen because we gotta get into January's vibe. Cancer, January doesn't arrive to rehash what you already survived. It arrives to show you what that survival earned you. December stripped things down. It exposed emotional debts, uneven exchanges, and places where you were carrying more than your share. January is different. January asks a sharper question. Now that you see it clearly, what are you going to do with that knowledge? Right from the start of the month, Mercury moving into Capricorn in your 7th house shifts your position in conversations. You're no longer speaking from uncertainty or emotional hope. You're speaking from experience. You know what works, you know what doesn't. And because of that, people respond differently to you now. You're not explaining yourself as much, you're stating terms. That alone changes the power dynamic. At the same time, Chiron stationing direct in your 10th house quietly unlocks something important. This isn't about healing an old wound for closure's sake, Cancer. It's about no longer letting that wound dictate your ambition. You stop second-guessing whether you're allowed to be visible, respected, or influential. There's a subtle but real shift from seeking validation to expecting recognition. When the full moon lands in Cancer in your 1st house, this realization becomes embodied. You don't just understand who you are, you feel it. Your emotional instincts are sharper. Your self-protective patterns are more conscious, and the biggest benefit here is this, Cancer. You stop confusing emotional intensity with emotional truth. That alone saves you time, energy, and misplaced loyalty. As the month moves forward, relationship energy intensifies, but not in the same way it did before. The Capricorn pileup in your 7th house doesn't bring chaos, it brings evidence. You see who shows up under pressure, who follows through, who only engages when it benefits them. And instead of feeling disappointed, you feel informed, and that's the upgrade. By the time the Sun opposes Jupiter retrograde in your sign, the benefit becomes clear. You no longer overextend emotionally to keep relationships afloat. They either sink or they float. Cancer, you recognize where growth has made certain dynamics obsolete, and you don't argue with that reality anymore. Mid-month marks a real turning point. The new moon in Capricorn doesn't just reset relationships, it renegotiates your role within them. This is where you start to see something tangible, Cancer. That's stronger boundaries that actually hold. You're no longer hoping people understand you. You're restructuring interactions so they don't need to guess. Then the energy deepens. But here's where January truly separates itself from December. As the planets move into your 8th house, this is no longer about emotional processing. It's about emotional strategy. You become acutely aware of where your resources are tied up: time, money, energy, intimacy. And instead of feeling overwhelmed, you start reclaiming leverage. You understand what's shared, what's owed, and what's no longer yours to manage. Pluto's activation brings conversations that change the rules. Not because they're dramatic, but because they're honest. Something gets clarified that frees you from carrying unspoken weight. And once it's out in the open, you realize how much lighter you are when you stop protecting other people from the consequences of their behavior, Cancer. The shift becomes even more pronounced when Neptune enters your 10th house. This isn't confusion, it's permission. Permission to redefine success on your terms. Permission to walk away from goals that were built out of survival rather than alignment. What benefits you here is long-term. Your public life begins, orienting toward meaning instead of endurance. By the time Mars meets Pluto late in the month, the final lesson lands. You no longer need to control outcomes to feel safe. You trust your instincts to guide your decisions, and that's the real gain of January. You leave this month with clear authority in relationships, stronger emotional boundaries, better discernment around strategy, energy, and resources, and a growing sense that your life direction is finally responding to you, not the other way around. January doesn't overwhelm you, Cancer. It positions you. And from here on out, that changes how everything responds to you. And we're unfolding how you maintain that position throughout January and for the remainder of 2026 right over in Patreon.